In this video, I am going to discuss about scanner class. So these are the points that we cover in this video. Why we use constructors of scanner class, what are tokens and delimiter, and what is the significance of tokens and delimiters in scanner class. Next is what are the functions available to read tokens in scanner class, and what are token checking functions, and which token checking functions are available in the scanner class. Okay students, so let's start the video. Okay, scanner class, whenever we want to take input from user at runtime, then we have to use scanner class. There are some other classes also that we will discuss later, by which we can take the input from the user at runtime. Okay friends, so when we want to take input from user at runtime, then we will use scanner class. So there are three constructors available in scanner class. First one is scanner system dot in. Second is scanner text file, and the third is scanner string. The first constructor is used whenever we want to take input from keyboard using console, means this is for the console based application. Second constructor is used to read data from a text file, then also we can use scanner class. And third one is just to use reading a string. Okay students, so in this video I am going to talk about scanner system dot in. Okay, so before starting the scanner class, first we should know what is token and what is delimiter. Token, simply we can say a sequence of characters, and delimiter is also sequence of character which is used to separate tokens. Now let us understand this with the help of a example. I have 10 rupees. Okay, if we consider this line, and if I say you the delimiter is space, then what are the tokens? Delimiter is what? It is used to separate the tokens. So delimiter work is to separate the tokens. So here you can see space is there, so it will separate the token. So we can say first token will be I, then space, it separated the first token, so it is suppose T1, token 1. After delimiter, the next token will start till we get space. So next space is there, so this is the token 2. So since here is a space, so it is separating token. Next space is there, so it is the token 3, and then the last token, since there is no space but the remaining part will be the token 4. So if we are considering space as a delimiter, then these 4 tokens are available in this line. Same as not only space, we can take any string to separate the tokens. If I say you that capital A is the delimiter. Then capital A, it means capital A will separate the tokens. So here we get capital A. So token 1 separated, then token 2, token 3, token 4. It may be a single character or it may be a group of characters. Okay students, so this is the funda of tokens and delimiters. And the default delimiter is space. Means if we are not specifying anything in the program, then space will be treated as a default delimiter. Otherwise, we can use the function use delimiter. I will tell you how to use to specify a particular delimiter. Okay. Now first I will show you one program. Then we will move to the next concept, functions to read tokens. So first have a look at the program. Here I have written a simple program that will read two numbers from the user and print their sum. So let us understand the program. Scanner class is the part of util package. Scanner class is the part of util package. So whenever we use scanner class, we have to write import java.util.scanner. Means what we are doing in this statement, we are importing a class, that is scanner. Whenever we use scanner class, first we have to import it. And for importing this class, we have to write the statement import java.util.scanner. Here the scanner S is capital, remember. Now class demo public static void main string args. So this is normally that we used to write. So first we will create the object of scanner class. Scanner sc is equal to new scanner system.in. Since we are using the system.in constructor, because we are taking the input from console, so we have to use system.in here. Okay, so we are creating object of the scanner class. This is the object name, scanner sc is equal to new scanner system.in. Now before taking input, we have to print what the inputs we are going to take. Means just we have to display a message. So here I displayed system.out.println, enter two numbers. So when we run this program, the first thing that will appear on the screen is enter two numbers. It will come like this. Okay, then I read two numbers. By default, the delimiter is space. So we have to write, this will be printed on the screen. Then suppose I write 5 space 7. So automatically these are the functions that will read these numbers. Int a sc.nextInt. So nextInt will read the first token. So this function will read first token and stored in A. This function will read the next token and it will store in B. Now int C, we are calculating the sum of both the numbers. So we have calculated here and we just print sum of the number is plus C. So the next message it will print sum of the numbers is equal to 12. So like this it will execute. Okay students, now you have to remember one more thing, that here I have taken two values in a single line. So if you are going to do so, you have to leave a space between two tokens. Now there may be some situation that you want to enter first number first, then second number. Then what you have to do, I am modifying something in this. Okay, enter first number, system dot out dot println, enter second number. Here I am writing int b is equal to sc dot next int. Now look how this will execute. Enter first number, int a is equal to sc dot next int. Now we are taking the input one by one. Here we have taken two inputs together, separating by space. Now what we have to do? When we run this program, this message will appear on the screen. So first number we have to input. Suppose we have entered only 5. So 5 will be stored in A. Press enter. Now the next message will appear, enter second number. Now you will write the second number and that number will be stored in B. Then again you will press enter and after that this message will be on the screen. The sum will be displayed on the screen. Okay. So this is how the program works. Now here if you see carefully, I took integer type values. I took here integer type values. You maybe need to enter float type values, double type values or boolean values. For boolean there is no function, keep it aside. Okay, so now suppose if I want to take name from the user, then what we have to do? There is function next and next line. If you want to take string from the user, there are two functions, next and next line. These functions are same like next int. Next int function, this is the next int function. Next int I is capital. This function is used to take int type value from the user. If you want to take double type value, then you will use the function next double, D capital. Same as if you want to store the float type value, you will write here next float. If you want to store short type value, next short, next long. So all the functions, all these functions are available here. Remember, there is no function for character value and for boolean value. It means there is no function like next boolean or next char or next character. Okay, so how to input the boolean type value, that we will discuss in the next videos. Okay, now come to these two functions. These both the functions are used to calculate, not calculate, sorry. Both the functions are used to take string type input from the user. Now the why we use next and why we use next line. See, if we are using next function and suppose we entered the value, suppose this is the value, this is the string I want to store and I use only next function. So next function will read only one token. So it means if we are using next function, then we have given this input. So this function will store only first token. So if we are using next, it will just store enum. It will not store the next token. But if we are using next line, it will store the whole line as a string. So in this case, it will store both the tokens in the case of next line. So it depends on the program that whichever be the function we want to use, we can use easily. So these are the functions to read tokens. Okay, now let's move to the next concept, that is token checking functions. What are token checking functions? So let us understand this with the help of a example. See, suppose I made a program like system.out.println, enter two numbers. First number I stored in A using the function sc.nextInt, and second number I stored in B, sc.nextInt. Now when we run the program, suppose instead of giving int type value, I gave any other data type value, like I write A and second I write 20.5. So at the time of running the program, I write the value which are not integer type. Then in such cases, what will happen? Runtime error will occur in our program. Runtime error will be there. Why this runtime error come? Because we are expecting here int type value, but we have given some other data type value. So in such situation, error will be there in our program. So what we can do to avoid such kind of error is to use the token checking functions. Now come to the concept, what is token checking functions? When a user entered any kind of token, we can first check whether it is the desired token or not. We can first check whether it is the desired token or not. If it is, then the program will execute. Otherwise, we can take the input from the user again. So these functions, these token checking functions returns boolean value, either true or false. If the token is desired data type, then these function returns true. If not, then these function will return false. Okay. So here let us discuss about the first token, sc dot as next int. This is the function which will check whether the token that we entered is integer type or not, has next int, n capital, I capital. So this is the function that will check whether the token that we entered is int type or not. If it is int type, then we can use. If it is int type, then it returns true. If it is not int type, then it will return false. So with the help of if else, we can check and we can complete our program. Same as there are other functions, like if I want to check for double type value, then I can use the function as next double. If I want to check whether any token is present or not, then the function I can use sc dot as next. It will simply check whether the token is present or not. Okay. If you want to check for long type value, you can write has next long, has next short. So these are the functions available in the token checking functions. Okay students, so today I am finishing here. If you have any kind of doubt, please write in the comment box and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you. Jai Hind.